Laser beak, prepare for flight. Course heading northeast.
Hello everybody, and thank you very much for your time today. And today I'm coming to you from Santee, South Carolina. Yes. Alright guys, as you see, we have Razorbeak up in the air. And we are visiting the Santee Outlet Center. So this is a very, very abandoned outlet mall. And it currently is literally rotting away. It's very sad to see it in this condition. There are a few buildings, as you see off to the left side there, that actually are falling into themselves where the roof is caving in. So we're going to take a look at a few of those shots and zoom in a little bit. Also, another thing that I'd like to add, please, again, in the comments, don't give me an amazingly hard time. I would greatly appreciate it. This, again, was day one of flying a drone. We also did a video over at the Richland Mall in Columbia, South Carolina, because they are demoing that mall as we speak, and that was actually flight number 3 of the drone on the same day. This flight was flight number 2 of the day, and so I did not get very low in a lot of these shots. In fact, this building here, we're going to get low and get a good shot there. But one of the big problems with this property is that the trees are so overgrown and large that I really didn't know how to kind of weave in between. So I offer this challenge to you. For those of you that are subscribed, I greatly appreciate it. I would also appreciate if we could possibly get 100 likes on this video. If we can get 100 likes on this video, 1, thank you so much, but 2, I will go back and I will actually get the drone in some much better shots. So please step up to the challenge, because all you have to do is press the like button. I would really appreciate it. Also, another thing that I want to thank you guys for is 2,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. Also, want to give a shout out to my man Sleeve up in South Jersey. Guys, if you are into old retail, abandoned retail, and also vintage toys, please go check out the Sleeve Did It channel. He was very nice enough to go ahead and do a video for Lionel Kitty City and 3 locations that formerly were Lionel Kitty City in South Jersey. One location actually on Route 30 in Burlington I used to drive past as a kid. My parents would be heading back home. We'd a lot of times head down to Franklin Mills, and I never got to go into a Lionel Kitty City, but I saw commercials. It's very similar to Toys R Us, by the way, for those of you that don't know. And Lionel Kitty City was a really great regional toy store in the New York, New Jersey, I want to say Connecticut, maybe some other parts of the Northeast. And unfortunately, I'm just crying right now. I never got to experience a Lionel Kitty City. But in that video with Sleeve, he actually went to check out one location that is now a really cool hobby shop. So stuff like that I really love to see. So again, shout out, Sleeve Did It. That's my dude out of South Jersey. I definitely appreciate that he did that video for me. And also I hope that he gets a lot of views on it and a lot of likes on it. Now, as we're flying around this outlet center, one thing that I do want to let you know is that the property is fully fenced. So yes, there does seem to be a lot of vandalism. There's doors knocked through, glass busted, a lot of spray paint around. But I will tell you this, please, I do not suggest that you go to this property. This is an exit on Route 95 that is actually very, very busy. And I do know that the Sheriff's Department is very active in this area. So please do not enter this property. Please do not vandalize this property, because I also know that this property is owned currently. Now, I don't know who owns it. I'd actually have to pull up the tax records, but I do know that it was sold at auction for about $700,000. Now, this is just information online. I am not a realtor, but this is what I spotted. And this property is about 40 acres. And as we look inside here, guys, look at that mess. It's really sad to see that these buildings have fallen apart. And this being 40 acres, this is a very large property. It is really great because Santee is going to have definitely a big boom coming forward in the coming years, because there are golf clubs here on Santee. There are a lake or two, I think it's Lake Marion, that is very close here in Santee. And also, this property is literally right along Route 95, so a lot of people drive past this location when they are heading north or south through South Carolina. This location also is about, I want to say about 40 minutes away from Buc-ee's. So Buc-ee's is a little bit further north, closer to south of the border on the South Carolina and North Carolina border. So also, if you decide to come down to South Carolina and visit, or if you're here, obviously check out Buc-ee's. And also, I do have a video for Buc-ee's, just like everybody else in the YouTube community. So hey, what I'm going to do here is I actually want to call out some of the stores that used to be at this outlet center. So here's a list for you, and I've got it written down on a piece of paper, so my apologies if I might sound robotic here reading these off. But the Paper Factory was here, the Bass Shoe Outlet, the Oneida or Oneida, however you'd like to pronounce that, factory store. That is kind of housewares, glassware, stuff like that. The Kitchen Kollection store, Legs, Hanes, and Bali store, Royal Doulton. I saw on one of the signs Brass Factory Outlet stores, but I believe that's Bass Factory Outlet store. I think they just spelled it wrong, unfortunately. Van Heusen or Van Housen, however you'd like to pronounce that, London Fog was here. Gitano was here. Westport Limited, Fieldcrest Cannon, Napier, Farberware, Swank Factory Store. I'm not sure what that was. If anybody does know what that was, certainly put it in the comments. The Book Warehouse was here. The Bank of Clarendon was here also, and I believe that's what it's pronounced. Clarendon is either a county or a city here in South Carolina. I actually forgot to research that before cutting this voiceover. There was Kids Kollection. There was Lingerie Shoppe. There was Country Classics Outlet. I've never seen one of those before. Also, Specials Exclusively, which carried Levi Strauss, so I guess your 505 jeans and other things from Levi Strauss. And also Fashion Flair, which carried IZOD and Mone, M-O-N-E. I haven't heard of that brand before. Mone, as I know it, would be obviously an alcoholic drink. So those are some of the stores that used to be here. And what I'd love for you guys to do is, if you had ever come to the Santee outlets, please let me know. Now, when growing up in Jersey, the outlet center that I grew up near was going to be the Flemington Outlet Center and also the Jackson Outlets. Now, the Flemington Outlet Center, that was really like kind of the first outlet center, and Liberty Village was one of the outlet centers there. Liberty Village, I believe, right now is fully fenced off and is being demolished. For those of you up in Jersey, including Raw and Real Retail, if you're happening to watch this video, let me know the current status of Liberty Village. I'm very curious. But Liberty Village also had a really cool hobby shop back in the day. Flemington actually had a really cool toy store back in the day. I remember getting Nintendo games there. I specifically remember Metroid, Kid Icarus, and also Mike Tyson's Punch-Out in that store. Now that toy store in Flemington is gone. That actually was over near the racetrack for Flemington, which was a round-around dirt track. I actually grew up as an NHRA kid near Englishtown, New Jersey, with the straightaways with Big Daddy Don Gartlitz, Don Perdome, also Kenny Bernstein, the Budweiser King. So as we start to fly off here towards the parking lot, what I want to do here is call out that there is an adult store that's also near the mall. So yeah, there's nothing like seeing billboard signs when you're going down 95 for the adult stores here up and down 95 and the other major highways. Now we're going to spin back around and take a look. And what it's really cool about this whole layout is that this is definitely going to be something really nice in the future. This area, if you look off to the right side, there is a bunch of dirt that you see. Now that dirt is there and is all cleared with no greenery because there is a peanut processing plant that is going in right now. Now that plant supposedly is going to be also a retail store where you can go and buy peanuts and maybe also peanut museum. I don't know the exact story on it, but I've seen a little bit of information about it. So really excited that some new stuff is going on here in Santee. There's also, I believe, a few hotels that are going in right now also on the main street in Santee in front of the peanut factory, if that's what it is. And also, one of the things that really stood out when I moved down here to Charleston and used to drive past this location was that there was a Starbucks. And usually you only see Starbucks, freestanding Starbucks in kind of like, up and coming and or, good economic areas. You really don't see Starbucks in downtrodden areas. And with Starbucks being here starting a few years ago, I said, something's good is definitely happening here. So capturing this on the video, and even though the drone video isn't all that great, my apologies, guys, but hey, you know what, enjoy it. And like I said, 100 likes and I'll go ahead and go back and we'll get some much better video the next time. But what's really great about this is that not only is this going to be something great in the future, I'm very confident of that. And maybe next time you're driving up and down 95, you'll see Santee, and there'll be something great here. Maybe a new retail development, maybe retail and housing, and you'll think of the Charleston Pinball Arcade Channel. You're like, I remember that guy talking about Santee. But let me give you a little historical rumor also about Santee. So there are a few rumors, including one really good paper that I was able to find that did call out that Santee was possibly, now I say possibly, don't roast me in the comments, Santee was possibly a scouted location by the Disney Corporation, or Walt Disney, for Walt Disney World to be built. Okay, now I actually put a picture of the outlet center up in the Retail Dead or Alive Facebook group, and a few people said, oh no, this definitely wasn't a Disney spot. But in the one article that I did find, it was a very reputable source, there actually is a official from back in the day, an elected official, that did call out the fact that the folks that run Santee and some of the area, and again, this is not verified information, so I'm not trying to throw blame on anybody, but supposedly the officials back in the day in this area, they did not want Walt Disney World here. I find that probably factual, as I've seen a lot of the downtrodden towns here in South Carolina on the back roads. There's unfortunately some folks that don't really want progress. Now, the term of progress could be, hey, you know what, there's going to be a lot more traffic, there's going to be a lot more people. But progress also does mean jobs, it also does mean tax revenue, it does also mean growth of the city. And if you actually look at where Santee is located, and also our friends up at Buc-ee's in Florence, again about 30-40 minutes north of here, this is really a very central location. Now let's look at it this way on a map, and I'm not going to pull up a map, just going to do it verbally. If you were a family in Maine, New York, Connecticut, Jersey, Philadelphia, Ohio, and everywhere else in the Northeast, would you want to actually drive all the way down to Florida? Now, a lot of people do that, and I know probably some of you that are watching this video have probably done that with your family, and God bless you. But imagine if Walt Disney World was in Santee, South Carolina, so it wasn't that far away. It was a little bit closer. You had the warm weather. It really doesn't get cold in the winter. You actually have Lake Marion here, so you have that lake aspect. So I do actually put some weight into the possibility that Disney did shop, at least, or scout, at least, Santee as a possible location for Walt Disney World. Now, we obviously know Walt Disney World is down in Orlando. Good stuff. I've been there as a kid. Actually, haven't been back as an adult. Really no interest in Disney. I really don't like corporate setups like that, in businesses, and that it's just too much. The people, the lines are crazy. But you know what? For all the Disney folks out there, rock and roll. So as we now start to get a little bit of a better look, when I got a little bit more comfortable with the drone and zoom down here, you can see where probably this wasn't the weather pulling off the siding. This was probably folks that had gone onto the property and actually started pulling off all of the all of the siding, which is really sad. Oh, that building in the back there, you saw that big tan building, that's part of the peanut factory, and that should be opening pretty soon. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier in the video, how everything is very, very overgrown, there really were only a few spots that I could drop the drone to this elevation, and right now I want to say maybe we're only about 6 to 10 feet off the ground, so I was a little bit concerned about losing the drone. I definitely don't want to do that. And there's another little sign there. I saw it a little earlier. It was something else, something Oaks. If anybody knows what that was, certainly let me know. Now, there's a few other drone videos. There are no videos that I've spotted of folks walking through this property. So I mentioned a little bit earlier, please do not go onto the property. Please do not do any vandalism. I have definite faith that my viewers are not doing stuff like that. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and do another overhead shot. Also, the building that we're flying over right now is actually a 2-story building. So for those of you that possibly know what stores were up on the 2nd floor, please let me know. I've only ever seen a 2-story outlet center on the way back from like the Poconos. I can't remember the name of the town in Pennsylvania before you get to the Delaware Water Gap. There was an outlet center that had 2 stories. For those of you that are out that way, I remember it because we used to pass by it when I'd go snowboarding up in Camelback, and then also coming back down from Scranton and that area up there, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. So, but hey guys, there is the overview shot. You got the water tower in the background. Thank you very much if you hung on this long for the video. I really appreciate it. This is about an 19 minute video. I want to thank you again for watching. Please get me to 100 likes on this video, and we will definitely go back and film some better shots for you if you want to see them. If you don't, not a problem, right? But thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Want you to join me in the next video, and definitely check out my friend Sleeve Did It, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Return.